Celebrating 30 years, Omni Edition Sports presents from Garden City High School in Garden City, Michigan, Cougar basketball. Tonight, the Garden City Cougars take on the Annapolis Cougars. Hi, everybody. This is Dan York along with Phil Henry as we get ready to bring you the annual Cominghome basketball game here at Garden City High School, the winter version of homecoming. And a tale of two Cougars as the Garden City Cougars take on the Annapolis Cougars. And Phil, Annapolis struggling. No wins in the conference. Garden City starting to turn it on now.
Absolutely, and Garden City, our Cougars, the good guys, beat them earlier at Annapolis 65-42. So tonight's game is going to be very pivotal because as we're seeing, these games are starting to back up because we've had a lot of cold weather cancellations of games. So this is very important to win a game at home against a team you should beat, especially in conference play. And that's what the Cougars are going to face tonight against the other Cougars.
Right. So far this week, Garden City was supposed to play on Tuesday against Clarenceville. That was postponed because of the cold. They played that game last night and won in overtime. They were supposed to play Dearborn on Wednesday, a game that was postponed from the last time it got cold and snowy. That one was postponed. It will be made up in February. The game they were supposed to play last Friday against Redford Union will be played as a day game tomorrow at Redford Union, so that the Garden City players can make it to the coming home dance. So a lot of basketball in a very short period of time.
Absolutely, and Coach Pummel, has really been working his guys hard, about fundamentals and playing a great, just a fundamentally sound game. Also, it's very important that everyone's getting an opportunity to play. We know that Kevin Brown-Bako leads this team. He's their leader, averaging double-double, and then, of course, Brian Widmer is next. And then after that, it's a good balanced attack for Ron Pummel and his crew. So they're really going to need to get everybody in action because these games are tightly packed here coming up in February.
All right, we will have the starting lineups and our national anthem when we come back from this. You are watching Garden City Cougar basketball. The Garden City Cougars take on the Annapolis Cougars. It's Coming Home 2014.
Okay, so we drowned the fire.
Yep.
Stirred it. Drowned it again. And now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Incorporate Marketing is the official apparel provider of Omni Edition Sports, located on Middle Belt Road just across from Garden City High School. Incorporate carries an incredible variety of Garden City Cougar apparel and swag. They also feature Garden City East and West gear and are your source for silk screening and embroidery. Owned by third-generation Garden City resident Jim Neve, Incorporate can help you design the perfect look for your company or event. Visit their website at incorporategraphics.com. The Garden City Cougars take on the Annapolis Cougars in Western Wayne Athletic Conference basketball action. Coming Home 2014. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise? Gentlemen, please remove your caps as Andrew Barrickmo honors America with the singing of our national anthem.
Through the perilous fight, for the rivers we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets red glare of those bursting ahead came through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled
Here now, the official starting lineups for tonight's game. First for the visiting Annapolis Cougars. A freshman guard, number 24, Larry Rivers. A sophomore forward, number 13, Jonathan McMath. A sophomore forward, number 22, Jawan Banks. A sophomore forward, number 40, Christopher Smith. And a junior guard, number 12, Brian Collins. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here are your Garden City Cougars. A senior guard, number 1, Kevin Brown-Bako. A senior forward, number 5, Brad Kidd. A senior guard, number 10, Ryan Whitmer. A senior guard, number 13, Julius Sanders. And a junior guard, number 24, Joseph Pummel. The head coach of your Garden City Cougars is Mr. Ron Pummel. Our officials for tonight's game, Mr. Al Kazander, Mr. Kurt Haynes, and Mr. Bert Hershey. So we're ready to tip it off. The anthems are done. The lineups are introduced. A great job by Andrew Brickmo singing our national anthem. And we're ready to go here on Cominghome at Garden City High School. Cougars versus Cougars. The Annapolis Cougars taking on Garden City. As we said, Annapolis looking for its first conference win of the season. Garden City 2-3 in the conference. They are in the Western Wayne Athletic Conference Red Division. And here we go. Phil Henry is number 13. Julius Sanders will handle the rock for the Cougars.
Third game in 3 nights, Dan, so the bench is going to come into play in this one. You'd like to see them get off to a big start and then be able to rest some of the starters because they got to have a game tomorrow afternoon.
Sanders. Errant pass there, picked up by Annapolis. This is Brian Collins. And Collins, who leads Annapolis with 24.5 a game, travels. And a turnover early for Annapolis.
And to keep an eye on number 12, Brian Collins. You just talked about him, Dan. He's averaging 24.6 points a game for these Cougars from Annapolis. We're going to keep him down tonight, keep him in check as best as possible, or let him score his points and shut everybody else down.
Neither one of these teams with a lot of height. So mostly ball control basketball here tonight, I suspect. Collins on the dribble, guarded by Sanders, and a hip thrown by Christopher Smith on a moving pick. So he picks up the first foul of the basketball game.
Well, it was just a few short weeks ago that the Garden City Cougars went over to Annapolis, Dan, and beat them handily. I believe 60-42 was the final score. So we're going to see, we'd like to see a repeat of that tonight.
Yeah, actually 65-42, even more than that. So, and this Annapolis team has simply struggled all season long. No seniors in the starting lineup for Annapolis. Kevin Brown-Bako into the corner to Joe Pummel, the son of Ron Pummel, the second-year head coach of Garden City. Lifetime resident, played basketball himself for Garden City West. Brown-Bako on the move. Brown-Bako off the high glass. And Kevin Brown-Bacon, who had 19 last night against Clarenceville in an overtime win, is the first one on the scoreboard here today. And Garden City with a little midcourt pressure. Larry Rivers.
That was a nice dribble penetration, Dan, as he put the ball on the floor. Here's Brian Collins. Big shot, missed. But going back to the shot that just scored the first 2 points of the game, as Bako gets control of it again. Put it on the floor, drove to the hoop, and used the backboard very nicely.
This is Pummel. Misses the first one. Rebound Collins. And Annapolis on the board, and a whistle. As I think Annapolis is calling a 30-second timeout early. So not sure what Coach Robert Yochis has seen already that he didn't like, especially after he got his first basket of the night.
Absolutely. But he might be trying to exploit some matchups here, because obviously he's coming in here tonight, and the game plan is going to be to get number 12 loose and single-handedly try to take this game over. And then for the Garden City Cougars, Dan, it's going to be to make sure that number 12 doesn't get loose. So maybe this is an early chess match between these two coaches.
Now, when these two teams met earlier, Joe Pummel had 20 points for Garden City, Whitmer with 10, and Kevin Brown-Bacon with 9. So Pummel, the only underclassman starting for Garden City here today. We'll see if he can get loose for a few. Into the middle to Sanders. Sanders runs into a sea of blue jerseys. Pummel shoots the three and makes it. So Joe Pummel, who had 14 last night against Clarenceville, and he's averaging 6 a game, puts the first 3 on the board.
That's very nice to have here early in this first quarter, Dan. You know, get that first shot in.
And a travel on Collins. 5:08 remaining here in the first quarter.
He's got a very quick burst to the hoop right there. He likes to drive the lane that we can see so far, does young Brian Collins. He is a junior.
Not the crowd we expected tonight on the far side, as you see King on the dribble with the hook shot. Brad King goes a little Bob Lanier with the sky hook.
The dauber.
7-2, Garden City on top against some midcourt pressure. And with the steal was King. Brown-Bacon couldn't handle it. It goes out of bounds. King with 7 steals last night versus Clarenceville. Holy Toledo, 7 steals.
So the big man there is showing some quickness, Dan, as he showed right there, as he got himself right into that passing lane, swatted the ball out.
And laid up and in by Jonathan McMath. And it's 7-4, Garden City on top. No basket, but going to the line will be Kevin Brown-Bacon.
Nice move to the hoop right there by Brown-Bacon. We saw that on the first hoop of the night as he put the ball on the floor, went in, put it off the glass. This time he went right down the lane, Dan, and one of two things is going to happen. You know, he's either going to make a charging foul, or he's going to draw a contact. This time he drew contact.
And by the way, in all fairness to Brian Whitmer, I gave his 7 steals to Brad King when I was doing my stat sheet, so I don't want his dad Tony all over me.
Well, you guys just go have some Lona's pizza and talk about it, and everything will be just fine. If that doesn't work, then I think I suggest you head to the Garden City KFC.
Brown-Bacon misses them both. Garden City not doing very well at the free throw line this season. Pummel leads the team at only 60%, so something they'll have to work on. Nice job by Collins to split the defense. 4 minutes remaining in the quarter.
This young man is showing us to be somewhat fearless at this point, Dan. He is
Whitmer from the corner. Brian Whitmer for 3.
Nice.
He has 16 and make that 17 triples now for Whitmer on the season.
All the Garden City shooters are getting in the action early, Dan. That's a very good thing.
Collins through the paint. Collins' right hand gets the roll. Brian Collins with 4, and Annapolis within 3. 11-8, Garden City on top, and Ron Pummel will call timeout. Now this little spurt by Annapolis has him concerned. So a full timeout called by Ron Pummel early on. Here in the first quarter, 3:27 remaining. Garden City leads it by a score of 11-8.
Well, this is their second look at Brian Collins, and right now what we're seeing him is just fearlessly going to the basket, and he's using his left and his right hand to finish these shots off, Dan. So maybe the strategy by Coach Pummel is going to be, well, let's see if we can push him out, keep him away from driving that lane, and let's see if he has an outside shot.
Now, Annapolis hadn't played for several days before losing to Fordson last night. Taking a look at Garden City's results, as you can see, the Cougars had their game against Dearborn postponed. They beat Clarenceville last night in overtime. A loss to Livonia Churchill, a loss to Fordson, and a loss to Thurston for Garden City. Early on, you see they beat Annapolis 65-42 at Annapolis. So for the Garden City Cougars, that adds up to a 5-4 record overall, 2-3 in the conference. Julius Sanders through traffic into the corner. Widmer tries to shake his man up top to Pummel. No substitutions so far for Garden City. Julius Sanders from the corner off the front of the rim. King battling in traffic. King throws it up. Can't make it go. Widmer, great play by Widmer. He makes the steal. He's going to fall out of bounds. He throws it off Larry Rivers, and Garden City gets to keep the possession. Heads up play by Brian Widmer.
Absolutely. This is a Garden City team right here. You want to see that hustle. Oh, nice inbound play. Brown Bako caught them sleeping, Dan. Broke to the hoop, a bang-bang play, and 2 more points on the board for the Cougars.
4 for Brown Bako. Annapolis breaks again that midcourt press for Garden City. Alex Ismail into the game now for Annapolis at the pivot. Collins around the screen that Ismail tried to set up. Collins stops, gives it to Banks. That is short. Putback goes for Alex Ismail. So the right man at the right time. 3-point lead for Garden City.
Ismail's been really strong coming off the bench for Coach Yokas as he's pulled down some boards, averaging 6 a game. Nice.
Sanders left hand. Julius Sanders, who had 7 last night, gets on the board.
Nice move, put the ball down and just went right to the hoop, took it right at the Ishmael that I was just talking about.
Right-handed hook shot doesn't go for McMath. Kicked out, here's a triple. In and out, rebound Garden City. Pummel, and then a quick feed up to Brown Bako. Brown Bako left side doesn't get the bounce. Annapolis rebound. Banks, triple team, and a foul, I believe, on King. I think he grabbed onto Banks as he went through.
Yeah, probably.
And no, it's Brian Widmer. So that's 1 on Brian, first on Garden City.
Well, that's a good foul right there, Dan. Just before the act of shooting, so it's just going to be an inbounds play and just goes as 1 foul on the board for Garden City.
Christopher Smith back into the game for Annapolis. Collins, this may be a 3, and it is. Brian Collins with 7 points already. And I joked early, with Phil off the air, he has 24 points, and Annapolis as a team only averages about 28, so he's got most of the job done in a travel call on Brown Bako.
Well, that was part of the strategy that I was thinking that Coach Pummel was talking about, was to push Brian Collins out to see what kind of outside shot he has, and the first one he takes from the outside is in for 3.
Knocked loose by Garden City. Pummel tries to chase it down, but can't. And it will stay Annapolis's possession.
Ends up into the Cougar crazy crowd.
The Annapolis Cougars and the Garden City Cougars. Here on Cominghome, we will have the Cominghome King crowning at halftime here on GCTV.
Tomorrow night, a big dance from 7 till 10.
And a foul on Brown Bako, and the basket goes for Annapolis. So it'll be a 3-point opportunity for Collins. Give Collins 9 already. Brown Bako picks up his first. So Collins will go to the line and shoot one. He bags it. And Annapolis up by 1 now.
And that's just what I was alluding to at the beginning of this game right here. It's going to be Brian Collins, and you wanted to try and shut him down and let the rest of the team beat you. But at this point, Collins is having his way with our good Cougars.
With the good guys. Up top to Julius Sanders. Widmer. That one does not go for Sanders, and a rebound by Ishmael.
Ishmael's averaging 6 rebounds a game coming off the bench, Dan. You can see he's just a big force in there. The Cougars took the ball right at him on defense, so he doesn't have a lot of movement, but he's a big body in there.
Kept in nicely, thrown up towards the basket as time expires, and Annapolis will take a 16-15 lead to the end of the first quarter. And the Cougars of Garden City dominated early, and then Annapolis showed some here at the end.
12 points by Brian Collins in that first quarter. And at this pace, there could be something very special here in the gymnasium tonight. And I'm sure Coach Pummel, that's on his mind as he's getting the team set in the for the second quarter of action, is how to stop this young man.
There you see the Annapolis results. Only one win for Annapolis. That's a win at Riverview, 62-57. Loss at Dearborn, a loss against Plymouth at their place, a loss against Garden City at their place. There you see the win, and then losses at Robichaud, Thurston, and Redford Union. So
you see they have Crestwood on the schedule. You know, Crestwood is playing one of the top teams in the area. They're a very tough team. They came in here to this gymnasium and they took our Garden City Cougars to task with a nice second half. So that's a very tough team. And of course, there, when the Cougar is on the screen, good things are about to happen.
The eyes of the Cougar are upon you. That Cougar has been here since the gym was built, but to the credit of Rob Phillips, after he became athletic director, he's able to get a new coat of paint in this building and some new graphics on the walls and replace the curtain on the south side of the gym. So lots of improvements that have been made because of Rob Phillips, but still many more need to be made here in this gym. And a steal for Garden City, and Joe Pummel rather. Pummel doesn't get it to fall. Rebound Annapolis. Here comes Collins. And Collins one-on-one with Zach Mazatix into the game. And Mazatix will pick up his first foul.
Hard foul that one was. He sent him right into that cement wall that you were just talking about that was freshly painted by the Rob Phillips crew.
So Collins will go to the line and shoot 2. And he makes the first one. Collins having a heck of a night. And a 2-for-2 trip for Brian Collins.
Comes in here at 5'10", 148 pounds, but playing very fearless. A big shot by Pummel. Joe Pummel hits his second 3 of the night, and that ties it up at 18 in the second.
That gives him 9 triples for the season. Collins. Back to Collins. He shoots the quick 3 off the bracket. Battle underneath for Garden City. Mazatix there for the Cougars, and also in the game, Travis Trigg. So on the floor right now for Garden City is Widmer, Trigg, Mazatix, Pummel, and Widmer. And that was Juwan Banks, number 22. Nice fake, and Travis Trigg drains it. His first bucket of the night. We're tied at 20.
He's the 6th Cougar to score tonight, Dan, and that's what they're going to need, a balanced attack to offset number 12 as he's driving to the hoop again.
Collins threw 4 white bodies. Travis Trigg with the block. Nothing but white jerseys there. On the floor right now for Annapolis is Smith as Ismail leaves the floor. Davidson, Banks, Rivers with the dribble, and Aaron York now on the floor for Annapolis. Check that. That is Brian Collins still on the floor. Banked off the glass, won't go for McMath. Rebound Garden City. Sanders as we approach 6 minutes remaining in the half. Pummel, nice ball movement by Garden City. In and out. Rebound Cougars, put back, doesn't go, but a foul on Annapolis. And I believe that's going to be on McMath. So McMath picks up his first. And that's 3 on Annapolis. And correction for McMath, that is his second as that one rolls with a little bit of help. So Zach Mazatix picks up.
That was a result right there, Dan. Some really good play underneath by Mazatix as he really went for that rebound in there, and he pulled it down and then took a good swat. So he's at the free throw line to make 2, and he sure does.
And he does. Brown Bako into the game for Garden City. Brad King coming back out onto the floor for the Cougars.
7th Cougar to score tonight. The sign of what Coach Pummel, I'm sure, wants is a balanced attack tonight. And hopefully it's going to be enough to offset number 12, Brian Collins. Very entertaining basketball player so far.
So Kidd, King, Brown Bako, as you see it picked up there by Pummel. And a bounce pass to Trigg, and Trigg gets it to fall. Travis Trigg with 4. Garden City up by 4.
He came hard off of that back glass, didn't he, Dan? Thought it was going to bounce out, but at the rim grabbed it and reeled it on in for him.
Through the lane and count it for Brian Collins. I think my Brian Collins point total is wrong now. He scored so many of them. What do you have, Phil? 16 for Collins so far. Chance to make it 17 right here. And he does. So, boy, he's averaging 24 and a half a game. He's already at 16. We still have 5 minutes remaining in the first half. So a monster first half for Brian Collins. He has single-handedly kept this Annapolis team in the game. Brown Bako reverses it. Kevin Brown Bako, senior, feeds it to Pummel. Pummel's 3 doesn't go. Brown Bako with the rebound. Brown Bako averaging 6.6 rebounds a game. Through the paint, left side, doesn't go. Loose ball, Annapolis brings it down, and Brian Collins brings it up.
Great ball movement, though, by the Cougars, looking for that good shot.
Off the iron for Collins, rebound King.
They didn't get it on that last possession, Dan, but you got to like that of your Coach Pummel.
Travis Kidd from the corner for 3. So Travis Kidd with his first basket of the night. And Garden City up by 4. Neither team able to get any distance from the other in this coming home basketball game. Omnidition Sports, GCTV. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to our all-volunteer crew here tonight. We'll talk more about them later. Jump ball possibly coming, and it is. And it is Garden City's possession.
Nice job by Travis Trigg to get in there and go for the tie-up, and the possession arrow favored the Cougars.
So Ismail back into the game now for Annapolis, and Jawan Banks into the game. The great Willie Sandman used to call them Annapolis. Kevin Brown Bako. Saw Willie the other day. Travis Trigg. Pummel inside to King. Back to Pummel. Good ball movement by Garden City continually. From the three-point arc, does not go. Battle underneath for it. There's Brown Bako. Where did he come from? Brown Bako fighting for the rebound, and Garden City keeps it. Triple doesn't go. Another rebound for the Cougars. Kidd, King. Corner. Nope. Rebound Annapolis and Ismail, and a foul on Garden City. Maybe Trigg. I'm not sure who grabbed him. It is on Travis Trigg.
And the other Travis Kidd, is really out there playing with some intensity right now. He kept that ball alive in a couple of different plays right there, Dan, as Garden City just came up empty. But once again, if you're Ron Pummel, you got to like the way the Cougars are playing right now.
3 different resets for Garden City on that possession. Off the glass, doesn't go. Rebound Garden City. Garden City piling up the rebounds. Kevin Brown Bako, he's fouled on the way in. And he's fouled by Avery Davidson. So for Davidson, that will be his first. 4 on Annapolis, and Kevin Brown Bako will go to the line.
Just used his superior speed right there, and he just drove to the basket, but it was the only thing that Avery Davidson could do was foul him.
Wow, they did not give him continuation on that, so no shot. Verville into the game for Garden City. There's a triple try. Off the iron, Kevin Brown Bako with the rebound. He's fouled again.
This one's going to go on Brian Collins. Maybe that's one way of getting him out of this game.
I was going to say we could take a few more of those.
Just got over the top.
So Joe Verville, who never met a three-point shot he didn't like, inbounds at the Brown Bako. Brown Bako soft shot doesn't go, gets his own rebound. Loose ball on the floor. Annapolis brings it down.
It was controlled by Larry Rivers.
Cold night outside, actually warmest night we've had in about 3 weeks. They actually got above freezing today. Let's have a parade.
Swing of about 60 degrees, Dan, from just the other day. Minus 30 to 30. I'll take it.
Great defense by Garden City there. I don't think so. Looking for 4 to 8 tomorrow and maybe 6 next week again. And off the glass for Travis Kidd. I've got Travis Kidd for 5, and Garden City is up by 6.
Everything's falling right into place for Coach Pummel tonight. He's got great ball movement going on the offensive side, and there's 8 players that have scored for Garden City. So it's been a terrific evening so far for the Cougars.
If Garden City can up their shooting percentage, they can run away with this thing. Rivers. Up top to Jawan Banks, the sophomore. And a turnover for Annapolis. Hard pass to Brown Bako from Brian King. Brown Bako kicks it into the corner to Verville. Verville for 3. Air ball. Rebound. Annapolis and Alex Ismail. Brian Collins brings it up. Go ahead.
Kind of challenges Bill Lambier for a vertical leap there.
Ron Pummel's wife trying to peddle 50-50 tickets in the middle of the broadcast to us.
You always win at that, Dan.
I know. Just not fair anymore for me to play.
Oh.
Left hand goes for Travis Kidd. Travis Kidd with 7.
I'll tell you, Travis Kidd didn't start this game, sat on the bench, and he took some lessons. He went to school on Brian Collins, and he has come out here and he's done a Garden City Cougar version of Brian Collins. As he is hot. He's poured in 8 points so far.
And Ron Pummel thought that Annapolis had called timeout, and they did not. Cougars up 31-23, the Garden City variety. Collins. Banks with Brown Bako guarding him. Collins, right hand dribble. King ties him up. And King or Verville or Kidd, any of the 3 possible on that foul. And it looks like Brad King. His first 6 on Garden City.
Yeah, they could have taken their pick right there as they all 3 took very good swings at Brian Collins.
17, 18 points for Brian Collins, the junior guard. So we have to contend with this kid one more year. Wow. 19 points for Brian Collins.
Well, it's so important to make those free throws, Dan. That is just easy buckets right there. And that kid walks to that line, and he just has no doubt he's going to put those in.
And Verville trapped. Throws the ball off of Henry Hung, who I believe is in the game. I think that's 21 in the game now. Now check that. That's 24, Larry Rivers. Cutter doesn't go. Ismail with the rebound. Approaching 10 seconds remaining. Again, we'll crown the Cominghome King at halftime. We'll take a quick break at halftime and come back with that. Collins, short. Ismail there, puts it off the side of the glass. There's a shot at the horn. It will not go. And Garden City with a 31-25 lead over a very tenacious Annapolis team. All but 6 points of the first half, a result of Brian Collins. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the crowning of the Cominghome King here at Garden City High School. 31-25, Cougars on top. You're watching Cougar Basketball on Omni Edition Sports. This is GCTV.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Or you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes
kids
you.
how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
KFC in Garden City is a sponsor of Omni Edition Sports and GCTV, and one of the providers of food services for the crew and volunteers for tonight's game. Garden City's KFC is located on Ford and Harrison and is owned by Garden City residents Dan and Paul Bogowski, featuring all of the Colonel's great menu items, including original recipe, extra crispy, and grilled chicken, crispy strips, sandwiches, chicken pot pie, those famous sides, and more. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to introduce the 2013-2014 Garden City High School Cominghome Court. First up is Kevin Brown-Bako, escorted by his girlfriend Jamie Britton and his father. Kevin has a GPA of 3.0. His extracurricular activities include football, basketball, and track. His future plans include attending Heidelberg University. His favorite high school memories include playing football and going to the district championship sophomore year in basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Brown-Bako. Next up is Ryan Conroy, escorted by Brittany Brandenburg and his parents, Matt and Terry. Ryan has a GPA of 3.3. His extracurricular activities include football, wrestling, and track. His future plans include joining the Marines and attending Michigan State University. His favorite high school memories are playing sports with the guys and the homecoming skit. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Conroy. Next up, Jahira Johnson, escorted by Danielle Wendling. Jahira has a GPA of 3.5. His extracurricular activities include a track and cross country. His future plans include attending Michigan State University to study in the Natural Sciences Department. His favorite high school memories include winning 2 races at regionals and qualifying for states in track, as well as being a part of ROTC. Ladies and gentlemen, Jahira Johnson. Next up is Kyle Weatherby. Escorted by his girlfriend Alex McNell and his mother Sherry. Kyle has a GPA of 3.1. His extracurricular activities include swimming, track, and cross country, key club, and theater. His future plans include attending the University of Michigan Dearborn and majoring in pre-dental and then attending dental school at U of M Ann Arbor. His favorite high school memories include getting the role of Prince Eric Jr. year and dissecting a fetal pig with Ben Arendt. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Weatherby. And last but not least, Brian Whitmer. Escorted by Sam Kalidas and his parents, Autumn and Tony. Brian has a GPA of 3.5. His extracurricular activities include varsity tennis, basketball, and baseball. His future plans include attending Eastern Michigan University or Marshall to study statistics or sports management. His favorite high school memories include playing 3 years of varsity sports and throwing a 2-hit shutout against the number 5 team in the state junior year and bumping Queen with Jeremiah wherever it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Whitmer. And now to make the presentation to this year's Coming Home King is the 2013 Coming Home King, Jacob Verville, as accompanied by his escort, Kelsey Barrickmo. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your 2013-2014 Garden City High School Coming Home King is Jahira Johnson. Well, congratulations to Jahira Johnson and the entire Garden City High School Coming Home court. All right, we've got one half of basketball left to play. The Garden City Cougars lead Annapolis by a score of 31-25. We'll have second half action from Garden City High School right after you watch this.
Son, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Lona's Pizza in Dearborn Heights is a sponsor of Omnidition Sports and GCTV, and one of the providers of food services for the crew and volunteers for tonight's game. Located on Beachdale and Ford Road, Lona's is owned by Garden City's own Bob Oliverio and the Oliverio family. Round, square, or pan pizza, Lona's is the place. They also carry great subs, salads, and wings. Give them a call at 313-274-0100.
Okay, so we drowned the fire.
Yep.
Stirred it. Drowned it again. And now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. Already posted it.
are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Second half action here at Garden City High School as the Cougars of Garden City lead 31-25 over the Cougars of Annapolis. And the story really for Annapolis was Brian Collins.
Absolutely. Brian Collins, 19 of the 25 points at halftime as he just scored in a variety of ways. And he's just done a terrific job. He's had a little support, a basket each from Alex Ishmael, Jawan Banks, and Jonathan McMath had been the other scorers on the Garden City side. Just exactly what Ron Pummel would like. Brown Bako with 5, Brad King with 2, Widmer has 3, Julius Sanders with a pair, Zach Mazadix has 2, Travis Kidd big off the bench tonight, Dan, with 7 points. Joe Pummel's had a couple of 3-pointers. He's got 6 on the night, and Travis Trigg has 4. The rebounding edge, surprisingly, there's been a lot of tap-outs by Garden City, but the Cougars have a 17-15 rebound edge, and those stats are brought to you by my daughters, Shyla and Sierra. They did a great job. I gave them a cram course here not too long ago. Second half action is getting ready to start. And this is going 31-25. It's going just according to Hoyle. It's the Garden City depth against young Brian Collins.
Yeah. All right, so on the dribble is Larry Rivers, and congratulations to Jahira Johnson. As you see Rivers on the travel. Congratulations to Jahira and the entire Cominghome court. And the King crowned at halftime.
Great festivities going on. Garden City, anytime you can have a party and bring the kids together and a dance. As Widmer misses.
And out of bounds.
Brian Widmer was one of them in the King's court. Had a couple of the basketball players out there. Brian Widmer and Kevin Brown Bako representing the basketball team.
So Annapolis brings it up.
That'd be an interesting matchup in the second half. Brown Bako on Brian Collins. See if we don't watch that materialize as this half unfolds, Stan. Right down there.
So Collins has it knocked away by Brown Bako.
Nice timing by Brown Bako.
Up top to Pummel. Widmer with the bounce pass to King, but a turnover. And a foul on the floor against Garden City. So the first foul of the second half for either team, and it's on the Cougars. And Widmer with 2. So Collins with the dribble. Rivers takes the 3 off the high glass. Rebound Garden City. Widmer there to pick it up for the Cougars. From the corner, triple try off the bracket, doesn't go. Brown Bako with the left-hand shot. That doesn't go. Over Brad King. And Rivers brings it up. Banks off the bracket. So far, nobody has sunk one here in the second half. Sanders, the senior, brings it up.
They're coming out like they were halftime at the Super Bowl or something, an extra long time. They're a little rusty.
And no
Waved
basket, an
off.
offensive foul on Kevin Brown-Bako.
We talked about that earlier, Dan. When you drive the lane like that, one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to get a potential basket and a chance to make it a three-point play, or in that case, that was the charge.
Collins. And he's fouled on the way in, so he'll shoot 2.
This young man has been just absolutely deadly from the free throw line.
I've got him 6 for 6. And he misses the first one.
Well, you know how both teams have gone cold now here in the second half. If Brian Collins can't hit a free throw.
And he makes them, or he splits them rather, and that gives him 20. Brown-Bako up top to Julius Sanders. Widmer in the corner. Garden City not in a hurry. Sanders had the open shot, thought better of it. Pummel takes the jumper inside the three-point line. Give Joe Pummel 8.
Nice shot by Joe as he faked the three-pointer. Dan put it on the court, stepped in, and just made a nice little mid-range jump shot. Sunk it with a lot of confidence.
So going to the stripe. Not going to the stripe, I'm sorry. So Sanders with the foul. Triple try deep, and banking it off the glass is Collins. 4 already this half. He has 23. From the corner, big bounce, doesn't go. Brown-Bako battles for it. Left side, gets the roll. And Kevin Brown-Bako with 7 in Garden City, up by 6.
Nice put back by Brown-Bako. He went strong for the board, brought it down. Maybe should have gone back up with it, but he did put it on the floor, Dan, and sometimes that allows the defenders to kind of set themselves also. In this case, though, Brown-Bako got away with it and put it back up in for a nice 2.
And another foul on Garden City. So that is 4 on the Cougars. That is 3 on Widmer. And with 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter, Garden City already has 4 team fouls.
We're going to call that one the big guy.
That'll be on Smith, number 40.
Thought they had Alex Ishmael called on that one, but
yeah, he was
on
there.
Number 40.
Sanders. Widmer. He loves that shot from the corner. King in the center. Brown-Bako, right side. Widmer open in the corner. He gets it, shoots it inside the 3. Off the iron. Brown-Bako with the rebound. Left hand doesn't go. Ismail with the rebound. And Brown-Bako earns a jump ball, I think, and a Garden City possession.
Yeah, nice job of tying it up right there. Ishmael controlled the boards clearly, and he threw right into double coverage, Dan. If he'd looked down the court, he might have got a fast break opportunity. I'm going to be looking for number 12 whenever I pull down a rebound.
Up top, 3 ball does not go for Travis Kidd. And it will be the Annapolis Cougars ball.
Alex Ishmael weighing in 6'6" and 250 pounds of him. Just before his last trip to McDonald's.
So Brian Collins, who already has 23.
You tell that young man when you're in Garden City, you eat at KFC.
Inside 3 minutes, does not go. Rebound, Brown-Bako. He's got Sanders with him. Brown-Bako left side. Brown-Bako off the glass. Kevin Brown-Bako has 9.
Very impressive right there. It was a give and go, and he had Brian Collins shadowing him all the way, and he looked across the court like he was going to pass it, and that kind of froze Collins for a second and allowed Bako to finish it off the glass.
Turnaround short, rebound Travis Kidd. Kidd almost traveled.
Travis Kidd had a big first half, 7 points off the bench and played with a lot of intensity as Bako.
That was almost a three-pointer banked off the glass from the corner. Banks, left side, left hand, doesn't go. Rebound Garden City. Pummel. And Pummel is fouled by Larry Rivers, who didn't get position.
And Rivers tried to reach in, and the official was right on the spot, and then he derailed Pummel with the ball. It was rather obvious right in front of the official.
From the corner again, does not go. Rebound Ismail. Banks has it stolen away by Brown-Bako. I don't know who the foul is going to be on. King?
He's going to call Bako. I think Kevin got him right on the arm and basically pulled his arm off the ball. Once again, right on the official, right on that one.
So Travis Trigg will come into the game for Garden City, and Brown-Bako will have to sit down. So he and Brian Whitmer both on the bench. A turnover for Annapolis, and it'll be Garden City's ball. So two very good players on the bench right now for Garden City with a little bit of foul trouble.
Yeah, Brown-Bako's really come out in the second half. It's been a slower start to the second half, but Brown-Bako's really been playing tough at both ends and has been primarily the only offense for the Cougars here in the second half.
King on the dribble, and kick ball there on Collins.
A little schoolyard action there.
Almost went in. Almost went in.
GC basketball.
Bounce pass in, and no foul called there as Trigg went up. Rivers shoots it to the baseline. Banks trying to get around Kidd. Free ball does not go for Collins. Bounces over the glass out of bounds, and Garden City's ball. And, you know, next weekend, next Friday, February 7th, Barry Patterson is going to be inducted into the Coaches Hall of Fame. And we want to wish him the best of luck into the Michigan High School Coaches Hall of Fame. As you see Travis Trigg get that one, and we want to congratulate him as we're inside a minute. Barry with a 641 and a 246 record in softball. That's a 723 winning percentage. He has coached for 27 years, Garden City's varsity basketball program, 1 state championship, and 5 Final Fours. So congratulations to a very deserving Barry Patterson, who will be recognized and inducted into the Coaches Hall of Fame next week. And Joe Pummel with the bucket.
Annapolis is going to call timeout right there to think about that, as Garden City is starting to pull away just a little bit, and they're using their balance. Off the bench is Travis Trigg has hit some, and Joe Pummel have been the offense here in this third quarter, as they're starting to just put a little bit of distance between them and Annapolis, and have really cooled off in the process is Brian Collins.
There you see our Cougar crazies here tonight. Nice turnout by them at Garden City High School. Now we want to mention, as Phil did earlier, our thanks to our buddies at KFC here in Garden City at the corner of Ford and Harrison, owned by Dan and Paul Bogowski. And KFC with all kinds of varieties of food now, with the boneless and the extra crispy, the original, the what's the other one I'm missing?
Grilled.
The grilled, that's right. So any kind of chicken variety you can think of. As you see Collins fouled on the way in, they now have, and we want to thank them too. Along with Lona's and along with Incorporate, they have done a really nice thing for all of the interns and volunteers here at Omnidition Television and GCTV with providing crew meals for a variety of our events and providing swag as Jim Neve has done for our crew and for our volunteers. Our thanks to them for all of the great things they do for all these great volunteers who we'll talk about in between quarters.
Collins,
he's just unconscious.
Calmly sinks a pair.
Unconscious. 10-point lead for Garden City. Sanders. Pummel. Deep three doesn't go, and then Kidd takes a dive for effect at the end, and Casey got it to go, and that's the end of three quarters with our score. Garden City 41, Annapolis 31, and pretty much the same in the second half. As far as for Annapolis, it's still all Brian Collins.
Off to a very slow start, though. Brian Collins came out of the gate and had about 12 or so right in the first quarter. I think we had him 12 or 15 points in that first quarter. He ended up with 19 for the half. They have managed to put the defense on him, and Garden City's continuing to use their balance, and that's what's really hurt Annapolis. They just cannot, they don't have the depth at all, Dan, to stay with Garden City at this point. And a lot of crisp passing. Sometimes it hasn't resulted in a basket, but it's taken time off the clock, and Garden City's looked very good, in the process.
All right, let's take a look at Annapolis' upcoming games, and these don't include makeups for the weather. They'll be at Redford Thurston next week on February 4th and at Summit Academy. Well, those will both be at their place, my mistake. And then they will have Redford Union at their place. And then Annapolis will travel to Clarenceville. And again, that doesn't account for any of the makeup games due to the weather that they've experienced, just like everybody else has in the Midwest and especially here in Metro Detroit. Quickly want to acknowledge all of our volunteers for today's broadcast. This is our third basketball game in just 2 weeks. And I want to thank Evan Chapman, Jason Merrill, and Spencer Fraunfelter, who are also the camera crew for the Horizon League and the University of Detroit Mercy broadcasts, and also on Channel 38. Our thanks to them all for being here tonight. As you see, a jump ball call, I believe.
Yeah, battle for the rebound down in there, and there were 3 players contesting it, and the official right on top of it, and that's Garden City possession.
And our thanks to Cole Avis, Sean Anthony, who is an intern from the University of Michigan Dearborn. We're also working our game today, and my thanks to, there's a 3 for Pummel. And my thanks to Zach King and Christian Gibbons, who have done all the work in the last couple of weeks, doing all the prep, putting all the graphics together, doing all of the pre-work for all of these games to make sure they come off as smoothly as they have. And my thanks to all of them for all the great work they do to help put on these very professional-looking broadcasts. Again, most of the folks that are working this broadcast are the same folks that bring you the Titans on Channel 38, as well as on the Horizon League Network. So we are very fortunate to have them, and we thank them very much for all of their efforts. And they're all volunteer efforts.
Do you have any students that volunteer, like Garden City students at all, Dan, that get a chance to come in and get into the action?
Yes, 2 of those gentlemen that we just mentioned were Zach King is from Garden City High School, and Cole Avis is from Garden City High School. Christian Gibbons came from Garden City High School. Jason Merrill came from Garden City High School. Hook shot goes for Zach Mazatix. His first points of the second half.
So come one, come all, and give Omni Edition Sports a hand.
Bring us your tired and lonely, and there's a 3 for Brian Collins. Baseline doesn't go for Mazatix. Loose ball underneath, and a foul on the Cougars of Garden City. I guess I need to specify. And that is the 8th foul of the half on Garden City. I believe that's on Kidd. So that's his second 8 on Garden City, and that will send Jonathan McMath to the line. So Garden City with a 12-point lead. And it stays a 12-point lead as Mazatix pulls down the rebound, lobs it ahead to Joseph Pummel. Pummel, his pass to Kidd. Kidd tries to get it off the left side glass, can't get it to go. We've got a jump ball call as Trigg gets tangled up with Hernandez.
Hector looks like a refugee from the wrestling team. I think he checks in at about 215 or bigger.
Just about 6 minutes of basketball to play here at Garden City High School on Cominghome. And that touched pretty much everybody on the way through, and the last person it touched was a Garden City Cougar. That will go out of bounds. And Brad King will come back into the game for Garden City. And Travis Trigg will set down with 6 points.
Travis Trigg has had a really nice night along with Travis Kidd. But the leading scorer for the Cougars tonight is Joe Pummel. He's piled in 13 points, most of them from three-point land, Dan. He's really been hot tonight.
He had 14 against Clarenceville yesterday. He had 20 against Annapolis. So he's had some big breakout games this year, and he is a junior, so he will be back next year for his father. And a foul on Annapolis.
It's over the back. Looks like it's going to go on McMath, and if it is, it's to be his third. Oh, Hernandez is going to get the call.
Seems like
instead.
There's some confusion on that even as it was given out because they had something else on the board.
And I wanted to catch up real quick. I did a game here last week, a girls game with the coach, Barry Patterson. What a terrific gentleman he is. An honor that is well received. As a foul is going to be called, negating a nice move to the basket by Mazatix. They call a charging foul, but you like that move.
So Brown Baker will come back onto the floor for Garden City.
We paired up for a broadcast, Dan, while you were over there doing the announcing. What a terrific individual he is, and he's got a lot of accomplishment here in Garden City over the years. And to be inducted in the Coaches Hall of Fame is a great honor for a really great man.
Yeah, I want to thank you and Barry for you got stuck doing a boys game by yourself earlier in the season, and you and Barry handled that girls game. So my thanks to you for covering both of those games for us. Does not go for Larry Rivers. Rebound Garden City. Almost stolen away. Pummel to Brown Bako. Brown Bako baseline, gives it to King. King banks it off the glass, doesn't go. Got his own rebound. And Julius Sanders ends up with it. And Ron Pummel will call a timeout. Not thrilled with that sequence. He'll take a 30-second timeout. We also want to thank Rob Phillips, the athletic director here at Garden City High School. He let us do something this season that we've never done before, which is bring our television truck inside the gym because the weather has been so bad that we didn't want to run cables through the doors, and we didn't want the volunteers to be running in and out of sub-zero temperatures. So our thanks to Rob for letting us bring our television truck in and turning the auxiliary gym into a river because we didn't account for the snow melting off the roof of the trailer all over the floor every time we bring it in. So thanks to Rob for that and everything else he does.
Yeah, he's just a terrific athletic director. He's really brought a lot of notoriety here to Garden City, hosts a lot of district and regional events right here, wrestling, basketball.
Girls will have districts this year.
Excellent job.
Mazatix to Sanders. Garden City's only had 3 ADs. As you see, Brad King is fouled, and one of those athletic directors was Brad King's grandfather, Bill Pinnell. Bill Pinnell, Bob Drop, and Rob Phillips, the only athletic directors we've had here at the Consolidated High School.
And the rebounding edge, which was pretty much even at halftime, is now starting to be controlled by Garden City. I had my daughters come in with the stats.
Collins through the paint. Basket doesn't go, but he's fouled.
kind of been missing that in the second half by Brian Collins. Don't know if he just got a little tired or if he was a little beat down or what, if Coach Pummel made an adjustment to keep him from driving the lane, but he was making a living out of driving that lane with baskets in the first half.
And I believe that's 30 points for Collins. That may be his 30th point. So a big night for Brian Collins.
And Dan, no one else has scored in the second half for Annapolis.
Wow. Do I have that right? Does he have 30 or does he have more? Sanders on the dribble.
You got it right on the money, 30.
Pummel from the corner throws up the air ball, and McMath is there to pull down the rebound.
That's special anytime you see that. And he certainly
30
scored a
points in a high school
variety.
game?
Yeah, variety of ways.
Your team only has 36? That's pretty impressive. Garden City foul on Sanders. Well, that's 2 on Julius. That's 10 on Garden City, so double bonus the rest of the way for Annapolis. So even though Garden City with a 10-point lead, Annapolis can find their way into this a little easier because they'll shoot 2 the rest of the way.
Well, this young man right here is starting to pick the pace up a little bit. He came out a little chilly in that third quarter compared to what we saw in the first half, Dan. But now we're just starting to see him drive to the lane. And, of course, by doing that, any foul is going to automatically put him at a line as 32 on the night.
He's only missed 1 free throw. Brown-Bako over half court for Garden City. 3:42 remaining in this one. Widmer. Brown-Bako baseline. Garden City with their starting 5 out there right now.
And I might say it's an unusual starting 5, Dan, in that there's the 3 left-handers out there. They primarily go to their left hand. Brown-Bako, Brad King, and Pummel.
And I believe Rivers on the foul for Annapolis. No, it's going to be on Collins. So that's 2 on Brian Collins. That is 6 on Annapolis.
The next one in Garden City will be in the bonus.
Sanders from the corner. Off the iron, rebound Annapolis. Christopher Smith pulls it down. Collins, right hand, doesn't go. Putback doesn't go. Battle underneath. Turnaround shot does go, and the first non-Brian Collins basket of the half is scored by Jonathan McMath. And Garden City now only up by 6. Garden City has gone a little cold now. Brown-Bako. And off the window for Brad King. A big bucket for Brad King to break this run by Annapolis.
That was really set up by the great penetration that Brown-Bako showed as he used his speed and a little athleticism to pull all the defenders that way and then found a wide open Brad King. Brad King came in and finished it.
3 ball goes.
Wow.
So Brian Collins with 35, I believe, and a 5-point lead for Garden City. And Ron Pummel will call timeout. And obviously he can't be happy with what he has seen. Annapolis looking for their first win in the conference. Trails Garden City by 5 with 2:24 remaining.
Well, what Coach Pummel has to do is go back to whatever defense he was using in that third quarter to kind of hold Mr. Collins to about 8 points, I think, in that. And he needs to go back to that defense. I like the matchup with Brown-Bako on him. I think those two match up really well athletically, and that would be a great matchup in the final 2 minutes and 24 seconds.
Let's take a look at Garden City's upcoming games. Now the Cougars will take on Crestwood on February 7th. And then they'll travel to Fordson on February 11th. They'll have Redford Union tomorrow. That's not on the schedule.
That one is on February 1st. Again, that is a makeup, and then they've got a makeup against Dearborn coming up a little bit later in February. So lots of basketball for everybody in the area to play moving forward. Brown-Bacot tries to feed it to King. It's kicked out of bounds, and it'll be Garden City's ball.
And you notice right now with the score being close like this, the intensity's picked up on the Annapolis side right now.
Inside to King, and a jump ball call. It'll still be Garden City's possession.
Nonetheless, so a great job by Larry Rivers as it got into King, the much bigger player. Larry Rivers just saw a little bit of an opportunity and went in and grabbed all ball.
So Kevin Brown-Bacot with about 2 minutes on the clock. Sanders, Garden City, needs a couple of unanswered hoops. King has it stolen away. King trying to dribble in traffic, has it taken off his hand. Bad break for Garden City, a huge opportunity for Annapolis. They don't make it. Rebound, Aaron Porter in the game for Garden City. I guess for his height, as you see Brown-Bacot get it to fall. So Kevin Brown-Bacot with a huge bucket right there can make it a three-point play as McMath picked up his fourth. 7 on Annapolis, and Kevin Brown-Bacot, who's 0 for 2 from the charity stripe tonight.
And that was all done with speed right there.
Doesn't go. Rebound for Porter. Porter steps out of bounds. So 11 points for Brown-Bacot. Garden City holding on to a 7-point lead.
Here's the ball. You want the ball in this young man's hands. He's a threat from anywhere.
Takes the shot. Collins does. Rebound Porter, and Porter is fouled by McMath, and that may mean he's out of the game. That is 5 on Jonathan McMath. So McMath with his 5th. That's 8 on Annapolis. And McMath will come out of the game, and Porter will go to the line now and shoot 1-1 for Garden City. Porter has only shot 6 times from the free throw line all season. He is 3 of 6.
It's good to see him get in late in a game like this, Dan. He's a young man, got some height, some interior presence. He's a junior. And you like to see the coach showing some confidence in him, getting in during crunch time in this game right here. It can only bode well as the season unfolds.
Davidson into the game now for Annapolis to replace McMath. That one does not go, so the second shot not earned by Porter. And a jump ball call, and it'll be Annapolis's possession. 1:10 remaining in this one.
Nice defensive play down there. Has I think that was number 22, Jawan Banks, going to the hoop right there, and he just couldn't bring the ball out, and the Garden City defender stuck in there and grabbed his hand on the ball.
Collins runs the offense. Going for the steal is Brown-Bacot. He got it, gives it to Sanders. Sanders can slow it up. Brown-Bacot, what a huge steal for Kevin Brown-Bacot, and he's calling a carry.
The official was right on top of that one right there, Dan. A very interesting call as he lost the handle on it, and then he just kind of let the ball fall out in front of him, and then the minute he touched it with a dribble, the official called him for the double dribble. Or carrying.
Yeah, I don't know, because of the contact that he ran into. I'm not sure if that was the appropriate call. Collins. Banks from the corner. Doesn't go. Brown-Bacot battles for it. Pulls it down, goes sideline, and he is fouled. So Brown-Bacot was fouled by Larry Rivers. That's 3 on Rivers, 9 on Annapolis. 7-point lead for Garden City. Don't forget you can watch this game on GCTV when it airs, but of course you can catch it on GCTV's YouTube site, which is GCTV Videos. Just go to YouTube and look for the GCTV Videos channel. That one is missed. Battle for it. And Annapolis comes down with it, and Collins. 7-point lead for Garden City. Blocked by Porter. That's why he's there. Aaron Porter does exactly what Ron Pummel put him in the game to do.
Absolutely. He's got height, and overall he showed length on that. We always talk about length with the player. That was a prime example of it right there, as he was kind of out of position by the driving Cougar, and was able to stand his ground and reach his hand in there and break that one up.
So Joe Pummel will go to the charity stripe for Garden City and shoot 2, as Annapolis picked up their 10th. So it's 2 shots the rest of the way. That one doesn't go for Pummel. And again, Garden City's free throw shooting has been suspect all season long. And that is one of those things that you can improve on simply through practice. Pummel splits the pair. And an 8-point lead for the Cougars. Triple try and air ball by Banks. Pulled the trigger kind of quick on that one. Brown-Bako bounces it over. They avoid the over and back call, and that's going to be it. And Garden City is going to come away with a 51-43 win over Annapolis. Here on Cominghome, the Cougars even their record in the conference to 3-3. They improve their overall record to 6-4. Annapolis falls to 1-9 on the season, and the Annapolis Cougars still searching for their first win in conference, but a monster night for Brian Collins for Annapolis. Over 30 points for the junior in the loss here at Garden City. Kevin Brown-Bako ends up with 11 points for Garden City unofficially, but Joe Pummel, the leader tonight, with, I will just have to count it on the air here, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 for Joe Pummel. And 7 points from Travis Kidd, but those all came in the first half. 4 points for Brad King, 3 points for Widmer, 2 points for Sanders, 4 points for Mazatix, and 6 points for Travis Trigg. But the only number that really matters is the W, and a 51-43 win here tonight, Phil Henry, and Garden City with still an outside chance to get back into the race for the conference.
Absolutely. They showed balance tonight. At times, they really showed some great passing. And, of course, tonight there was a evenly matched as far as height-wise goes, and they had a 38-35 rebounding edge. A lot of good positives to take out of this game moving forward, Dan. The idea is that Coach Pummel has a team that has to play all the way down and get people scoring. I like to see Aaron Porter come in late in the game, play some crunch time minutes, start getting his confidence up. Brown-Bako was the leader of the squad. Just a terrific overall game, and anytime you see another player put up 35 points, that's always a special night. He's a special player, Brian Collins, for Annapolis. Just a very entertaining night on crowning the king, homecoming. I had a great time tonight, Dan.
Great, Phil Henry. I want to thank you very much for being with me. Our congratulations to Jahira Johnson, who was crowned the Cominghome King tonight, and congratulations to his entire court. Again, congratulations to Barry Patterson, who will be inducted into the Michigan High School Coaches Hall of Fame next week. My thanks to all of the volunteers here at OmniDish Television and for GCTV. So for our director, Christian Gibbons, and for Phil Henry, this is Dan York saying so long from Garden City High School. Again, the final, the Garden City Cougars 51, the Annapolis Cougars 43. Thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.